This is Thunder Cave, Chapter 3, page 15. The morning after the funeral, when I came into the kitchen, Sam was sitting at the table waiting for me. "We've got to talk, Jacob," he said. I sat down across from him. The first few days after my mom died, Sam was different. We seemed to connect with each other, but now things were the same as before. I was angry at the way he had treated me after the funeral. We were uncomfortable now and awkward with each other. "We've got to talk about the arrangements," he said. "What arrangements?" "What we're going to do." He played with his coffee mug. I'd been so preoccupied with thoughts of my mom and the funeral that I hadn't even thought about what we were going to do. "Your mom's folks aren't in the position to take you," he continued, "but I talked with your aunt and uncle in Nebraska." "What? What did he mean, take me?" "Hold on now," he said. "They've offered to put you up. There's a high school right down the street." "Nebraska? It's not so bad there. They're a nice family. Why can't I just stay here and finish school?" "You're making this difficult, Jacob." I glared at him. I was making it difficult? "You can't stay here," he said. "Why?" "Because I'm not going to be here. I need some time. A few weeks ago, I was offered a position on a dig in Honduras. Of course, I told him that I couldn't take it. But now things are different now." "You're going to Honduras?" He nodded. "I need time," he repeated. "With your mom gone, I just don't think I can stay here." "Nebraska?" There had to be some other way. I had been there a couple times, and there were problems. "Beth, your boy is wild. What he needs is some good old-fashioned discipline." My uncle was beyond strict. My cousins, Wanda and Myron, were like terrified robots. "I do not think my mom would have liked this arrangement," I said. "I don't get along with them. I'm surprised they even want me there." "Well, they do," he said, "and it's the only alternative." "But what about my dad?" "What about him?" "Don't you think we should contact him before you make any decisions? He's my legal guardian now." "I tried to contact him," he shouted. "He didn't even come to Beth's funeral." "He would have if he had known," I shouted back. Sam stood up angrily. "Your father's never given a damn about you or Beth." "That's not true," I yelled. And it wasn't true. He wrote and called when he could. Even after my mom married Sam, my dad continued to send support checks to my mom and money for me to put into my savings account. "The hell it isn't," Sam said. "You're going to your cousin's and that's it. It's all been arranged." "I want to wait until I hear from my father." "There's no time. As soon as I can get these things packed and sold, I'll be leaving." "What do you mean sold?" "We've got to do something with all of this stuff. I won't be needing it where I'm going, and neither will you." "You're going to sell my mom's things?" I couldn't believe it. We just buried her the day before. "What else am I supposed to do with them?" "How about putting them in storage?" "There's no point in that. And if it's the money you're worried about, don't. I plan to send a check to you as soon as everything's settled." "Money?" I was devastated. "It's not the money." "Then what is it?" "It's my mom's stuff," I said. "Oh." He sat down. "I'm sorry, Jacob," he said quietly. "I don't know what's gotten into me. This has been very hard on me. I'm not myself." He was being himself. He just didn't know it. "Of course you can take anything you want to remember your mom by, but there isn't much room where you're going." "Why can't I just stay here?" "Because no one will be here to take care of you. Don't be ridiculous." He stood up again. "You're lucky they offered to take you in." "Yeah, lucky me." "I have to go to the university," Sam said. "We can talk about this later, but there's really nothing more to say." Sam was right. There really was nothing more to say. After he left, I went into the bedroom and looked at the photos on the wall. In each one, time was frozen for a moment. My mom at one of her digs holding an ancient piece of pottery she'd uncovered. My father holding the antenna in the air as he tracked elephants. Another one of my father in his Land Rover in Africa. A photo of me graduating from the survival school that my mom and dad battled over for weeks. He's old enough, Beth. It's about time he learned there is more to this world than asphalt, glass, and cement. A photo of the three of us on a camping trip in Canada, all of us smiling a long time ago. I lay on my bed. You can take anything you want to remember your mom by. Thanks a lot. Really kind of you. Just what do you take to remember your mom? It was obvious that the only thing that linked Sam and me was my mom's love for both of us. Now that she was gone, he was dumping me without considering for a second what I wanted, not even waiting to hear from my father. As my mind raged on, I became more and more miserable. I was having a hard time breathing. I jumped out of bed, pushed the window open, and stuck my head outside. Pigeons flew off the ledge, and the sound of the window banging open, and I took in a big gulps of air. Below, people scurried past, unaware of my pain. I thought of jumping. That would certainly get their attention. They would know what I had been. They would know that I had been in pain. What's the matter with me? I'd never thought like this. I pulled my head back inside. Get a hold of yourself, Jake. I closed the window and quickly left the bedroom. The living room was not much better. Everything there had been packed in boxes, the books, artifacts, and pictures. The things of my mom's life packed neatly away as if she never existed. I went into the kitchen. Sam hadn't gotten there with his boxes yet. My mom loved her kitchen. She got around in it pretty well. It's my domestic laboratory, and you are the guinea pigs. Looking around the kitchen, I began to feel hungry, and for the first time in days, the refrigerator was nearly empty. I opened the cupboard and found a can of soup. I opened it and poured the contents into a bowl, then opened the microwave to heat it. And there it was, the piece of lasagna. I took it out and put it on the kitchen table and sat down. Memories of my mom flooded back to me, and I began to cry. The tears came slowly at first. I remembered everything, wave after wave of things we had done together. Her expressions, her laughter, things she had said. The grief billowed out of me, and I cried like I had never cried before.